Hey, y'all. Hope y'all had a good weekend. I had a wonderful weekend myself. So let's get into it. So, again, this is another subject that is near and dear to me for so many reasons. So, um, I feel like it's $1 million question kind of topic. And I have heard other people try to attempt to answer it, and I've heard guys take it and run with it. So let me just put my stamp on this, and y'all let me know in the comments what your experience has been and what you think about, you know, the topic itself. So let's get into it. So the question is why women don't get along with each other, right? And again, I'm definitely coming from a black woman's perspective. So um, the question then becomes, why don't black women get along with each other? So I have to start out first by saying that I would like for it to be a myth that really isn't true. Um, but the reality is that there's some truth to it, right? And just like anything, it's not absolute. So to say that, oh, black women don't get along with nobody or they hate each other, like, it's not absolute. You know, I mean, you could look anywhere and see plenty of women getting along with each other. Women doing brunch, doing birthdays, like girl trips, like really bonding, celebrating with each other, enjoying one another, loving on each other. So when we say, that black women don't get along or whatever, you just always have to understand that it's not an absolute, right? And somebody even came in my comments from one of my videos where I had made the comment that, I kind of really don't get along with women. So, of course, the commenter said, oh, you lost me when you said you don't get along with women, that you don't really like women or whatever it was that I said. So then my response to her was like, out of my whole video, that's the only thing you got? Okay, well, this is the reason why I said what I said. Because it be silly stuff like that when you a certain type of person like me, like your patience be short for foolishness, right? So when you come with it, it's just like, see, you are the reason why a person don't be want to be bothered with certain type of people, right? So, anyways, like I said, it's not an absolute thing, but it is a question. I mean, it is a statement, like I say, that it does have some validity to it, right? Because most of the time, like for instance on social media and stuff, who you see? You see us arguing, fighting, just being belligerent. You see us as women doing that to each other. So ain't no sense in saying that some of that ain't going on in real life, not just on TV, not just for entertainment. Like it's happening in real time, in real life, and it does make certain people, certain women, say, you know what, I don't even want to be bothered with that. I keep my one best friend, and that's it. I don't talk to nobody else. I don't share any of my business with nobody. It does make some women just kind of go into their own little cocoon and stay there. You know, bad experience. For some people, it only take one or two bad experiences for them to just shut the whole world off. For some people, after one, it's one and done. And depending on how bad that one situation was, I can easily understand a person saying, you know what, I'm just not willing to open up my heart and my life to someone after going through that experience with that person. So then you just have a lot of situations where women just like, y'all too slimy, y'all too this, y'all too that, I don't want to be bothered. And that's the reality of it. Is it unfortunate? Absolutely, it's unfortunate. But the reality is that after you have been through some things, or when you have sat and observed some things, people start looking different to you. You know, sometimes, you may observe situations going on, and you may be looking at people from afar and admiring them. And then when you really start to get to know certain things about them, you like, yeah, that ain't it. And then not so much that ain't it, but you start to see that the person that they appear to be is almost the opposite of who they really are. And that's when it almost shows up as like disappointment, you know. And a lot of times we just not willing to take that risk, right? The other side of that is, people have taken that risk, and people have been truly, truly hurt by some people. I would like to say that I have had probably equally good experiences and bad experiences. But because my good experiences with my friends were so good, that's what made them outweigh the bad. Because the good was so grand. The bad experiences, I learned my lesson, right? I learned my lesson about that person, and then I learned a life lesson with it. So one of the first life lessons that I learned when it came to friends was this. I was young. I was in probably about the 8th grade. No, I was probably in 7th grade. 7th, 8th grade, one of them. Some of the minor details I might be off sometimes because, hey, it's been a while ago. But the gist of the story is there. So I remember being at one of my friends' house, right? And I used to like to go over that particular friend's house a lot, and we was always doing whatever. So we'll go out in the neighborhood where my friend lived or whatever, walking around, etc., so forth. So this particular day, we walking around, hanging out good, just not doing nothing too much, And it was a group of girls, and the group of girls approached us. And now, I don't know them, because this ain't my area. This ain't my neighborhood. So I don't know them. So then a group of girls say to my friend, "Oh, this the girl you said was talking about us?" So I'm like, looking like, what? Now, at that time I had a couple of fights. But I wasn't raised to be a fighter. Like, I wasn't raised like that, But as I entered middle school, it's like I had to become a fighter because those were the type of children that I was around, And so I would get in trouble at school because I would fight, right? So now we ain't at school. We, at my friend's house. And out the door. So it's like she don't really have an answer for them. But it's one particular girl, she real big, and it's like the other girl. So I'm like, what in the world is finna happen? What's finna go on? Like, what? Like, I don't even know these girls. I don't even live around here. So what in the world could they be talking about? And my friend don't give any type of answer to confirm, like, no, this ain't who I'm talking about, or this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, lo and behold, me and this girl get into it. She swung on me. Now, I am so scared because I'm like, my friend is here. She done clearly lied and got me into some foolishness. these other girls with her. Now, if I fight her, I'm going to get jumped. I was so scared of getting jumped at that time. So I just didn't hit her back. And I never will forget this. You know, I didn't hit her back. She hit me a couple times. I'm on the ground. Like, it was terrible. Like, it was hideous. You hear me? And the thing was, I was just so scared that I was gonna get jumped, even like that I was gonna get jumped, and then it would be worse. So I just took what the girl was giving, right? And I'll never forget, a lady was sitting on her porch, like, watching it. And when I got up, of course I got dirt all on me. Like, I just really just took a tail whooping, really. And I remember that lady said, "Baby, you gonna have to learn how to fight." And it was crazy because I already knew how to fight. But I was just so scared. And it's like I was scared for two reasons. Because it's like, my friend, this supposed to be my best friend, she done told these girls a lie. So I don't have no support from her. And then it's like 3-4 other girls that I don't even know them, and they ready. So I felt so just, man, that had messed me up. Get back to her house. She's telling her mom about the fight. Her mom instantly like, "Well, you live over here. She don't live over here. You got to play over here." And this. So it seemed as if it was something that I had done. So now I can't wait to get back to my house. Because, like, I'm embarrassed, I'm hurt, and I'm mad. I'm mad. Because I'm like, she told them girls that, and I don't even know them. Get home, tell my stepmama everything that happened. At that point, I'm done with her. Our friendship was never the same after that. I was all the way really done with her. In my heart, I was done with her as far as our friendship and me loving her like she was my best friend. You know, that was what we had said, is that we were best friends, and we really were best friends. But when that happened, that changed everything for me. And that was like my first real experience with betrayal. And of course, it was on, you know, we're in middle school, so it's, you know, you could say it's on a low level. But when you done got beat up because of your friend betraying you, ain't nothing low level about that. That's something that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And it will make you feel some kind of way. It's going to make you always double think and be suspect about people. Because this is a person who was my best friend. I'm talking about, when you seen one, you seen two. They ain't say one person's name without saying the other, like that. So if this person could do this to me, I just wasn't available to let too many more people in for them to turn around and do something like that. Right? I just wasn't. And like I said, that stayed with me for a while till I had to grow up. I had to get some more experiences with good friendship. I had to really meet some women who would not do that. To counteract what I had already experienced with her. Right? It was, once I met people that, you know, they showed up solid, then I could start back, you know, feeling like, okay, I could have some best friends that could really stand the test of time. You know, I could put that label on somebody, you know. So I tend to think that a lot of things stem from your childhood. And it's not that you haven't healed or gotten past stuff. It's just that when you learn lessons at an early age and stage, a lot of times those lessons will stay with you, as they should. Whenever you learn a lesson, Like, don't forget it. You know, that situation happened for a reason, you know. So I truly believe that it was to, you know, go ahead and put me in perspective early, you know, to realize that it will be the people sometimes that you least expect that will hurt you, that will turn on you, that will betray you, that will lie on you. So, hey, once I got that, I had it. I had it after that, you know. So, you know, you would be good if you squeezed your way on into my life, baby, and I gave you that label as a friend. That's why I love to do, like I always say, that friend word, boy, that's heavy. That's heavy for me. Because it means so much, because I have experienced and went through so much with friends, with people who were once friends, or, you know, I actually gave you that label and then I seen you do something that I couldn't co-sign, that you know wasn't cool, you know. So I'll always have friend stories to tell, but I do believe that, you know, because of some of the betrayals that we have experienced with our friends, that gives us almost a sourness when it comes to interacting and dealing with other women. It's like we have a proclivity to almost expect that it's something grimy or slimy about you. Now we're just sitting and waiting for when it's going to show up and how it's going to show up. Right? Because it's almost like we just know it's coming. We just know we're going to find out. We just know you're going to end up doing something. Don't know when, don't know how, but we know, because we know you. Right? But really, we don't necessarily know that person. We just know that, hey, she's a female, kind of similar to the other females that I know. Okay, I know your capabilities. Right? So yeah, that was like, you know, my first interaction with betrayal. And it definitely set the tone with how I would engage later on with different people, you know. And like I say, after that, I gave her 50 feet. You know, I was never mean to her. I never said anything negative to her. Like, you know, because it's like, you're my friend. I loved you as a friend, right? But you showed me this. So now I can't put myself in another situation with you where something is going to happen to me like that. You know what I'm saying? So after that now, let me tell you now, after that, I said to myself, I would never allow a person to put their hands on me and just get away with it. I didn't care who it was, male, female, cat, dog. You would never put your hands on me and get away with it. No. But had I not had that experience, and had I not felt the humiliation from just getting beat up, like dirt and all in the ground, what? Oh no, that wasn't supposed to happen. Number one, I didn't do anything to you and I don't even know you. Number two, it's not like I had did that to someone else previously or something. And so now it's coming back to me, because that happens too. I believe in that. So no, I had never did anything where, oh, now this person, something is coming back on me. I deserved it. I earned it. No, that was not the case. So truly, that was a lesson. That was something that was supposed to happen to open my eyes and to prepare me, for my future. Like, hey, these things happen. Watch who you call your friends. Watch who you spend your time with. Don't put nothing past them. Don't put nothing past them. When they show up and show you who they are, never let it be a surprise again. And that's all I always have, yeah. It won't be a surprise. It'll be more like, okay, you finally showed me your hand. Okay, been waiting on it, been expecting it. So, like I said, when you have had certain experiences with people, it changes your viewpoint, changes your outlook on things, right? And so, like I said, I never looked at her as she was my best friend again, never. After you did that, and we never talked about it, we never discussed it, because what you gonna tell me, you know? What can you tell me besides I'm sorry? You never said that, right? So, yeah, so it will be a couple years past before I would ever feel comfortable again saying that that person was my best friend, right? It would be, and you know, it was years before I felt comfortable enough. Even when I actually developed relationships with, someone, and we were so close, she really was my best friend. It took a lot out of me for me to ever say it. And it wasn't till really she called me on the carpet about it. And then I started, saying it, because my experience with my other friend, because it was so bad, it's like I kept her kind of at bay. Like, yeah, you my best friend. Like, we rocking. Like, I love her, but just not knowing when something was going to happen, when she, so I kind of kept her at bay, always feeling like something is going to happen. She's, you know what I'm saying? So, what you experience early on, it does affect how you deal with people. And, for me, I feel like I was fortunate enough to have an experience early on in life, regardless of how humiliating it was, because it was humiliating. But I was fortunate enough to have that experience early on. But some people don't get those experiences till later. And then to me, by that time, it's so much more detrimental, because, it may involve other things at that point. It may involve, being betrayed, by your friend with your man or your husband, stuff like that. And then when you don't see it, it really, really hurts even more. When you didn't see it coming, you had never, you gave the person the benefit of the doubt, so you never thought you would see that. And then it happens. So now you're just destroyed, right? So it is definitely my position that a lot of reasons why we don't get along with our counterparts, our sisterin, is because of the experiences that we have had with our sisterin, sometimes our friends, that went wrong, and it left a bad taste in our mouth. It was a very bad experience. It was traumatic. It hurt. And from that point on, we decided to be distant, right? And sometimes those experiences may not have just only been with a friend. It could have been with your mom. It could have been with your siblings, your sisters. Could have been with any other female, right? When you have those close experiences with other females and they don't end well and you're hurt, it will make you be distant with other women. It will just make you frown upon, it will make you standoffish. It will cause a lot of friction in your relationships and your interactions with other women. And I think in that case, it's not just a get over it kind of thing, because these are lessons. So you ain't necessarily just getting over the lesson. You taking the lesson, and you need to get everything out of that lesson to apply it in life and make sure that it don't happen again. And for some people, the only way they're going to make sure that it don't happen again is if they don't deal with you like that. And it means not dealing with your kind, meaning females, So then when you hear women say, I don't have friends, that's why. Because they have had a friend that totally took them up through there, and it's no. Or they were raised by a woman who had a friend that took her up through there. And so that mom always told that daughter, hey, you don't have no friends. And so that daughter kept that in mind, I don't have no friends. And usually now when a woman says she don't have no friends, that means she probably got like one chick that she deal with, and that's it. And she don't want no more, and she on her Drake, no new friends type stuff, and that's it. Right? I've heard people say, women don't even like to deal with each other because they can't trust them. No, it's bigger than that. It's deeper than that. It's about the experience that you have had with that person. And for whatever reason, it went awry, and you just don't want to be hurt in that way no more. So you could connect it to trust, but I think it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. And sometimes women just see, sometimes women see things that other women are doing and they don't respect it. And so that will give them a bad viewpoint on all women. Because the women that they are around or have been around, they didn't like how they were moving, and they didn't like the things they were seeing from that woman. So they took that and said, hey, I just don't like how women are. I'll pass. Miss me with that. So sometimes it's not necessarily about not being able to trust them. Sometimes it's about the fact that you can't respect them. You've seen too much. And I don't care what the situation is. Anytime you have seen too much negativity from a person, when you see too much, you can't respect them. And then, like I say, that's another thing that's going to say, you know what, I'm going to pass on her. I'm going to pass on that. That's what y'all do. I mean, listen, I have seen a lot of things too, I have seen a lot of situations that I'm like, you know what? She's super cool. She's super dope. But she also has her kids thinking that such and such is their dad. That's not their dad. So even though you seem like you super dope, super cool, I'm going to always feed you with a long-handled spoon. Because what I see is that if it come down to me or you, it's gonna be me. So now, so I think that's a big part of it. When women see how other people move, they can't respect it. They don't want to get that hurt. They don't want to be betrayed. And this, let me just put this out there. Like, all people fall short of stuff. And somewhere out there, you're going to find somebody that's going to say, oh, let me tell you about her. Let me tell you what she had did. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I done did some things too. But ain't no but. That's it. I'm a person. I live on this earth like everybody else. I have done some things that, okay, I should have made better decisions. Period. Now, what I will say is that when it comes to my friends, I do try to make even better choices. Have I missed the mark a time or two? Yes, I have. Right? But when it comes to people who I'm really close with, like, I ain't never trying to cross you. I'm that's not my intention. I don't want to do anything to hurt you, because I don't want to be that person that makes you look down on other women. No, that's not my goal in life. My goal is always to be upstanding and to present a person to the world that other people can respect. That is my goal. That is my goal. Now, am I the kind of person that I don't care if you like me or did? Yes, I'm that person too. But I like to think, I know that it's my goal to, when I present in a way that, hey, even if you don't like me, you respect me. Because when you see me on, I ain't just moving any kind of way. I ain't just carrying myself in any kind of way. I ain't just talking and saying anything. You know what? Even when I decided to do this podcast, I had to strategically make a decision that I was not going to curse. Because sometimes, yeah, in my conversations, I say a little one too. But that's not how I wanted to present myself to the world, wherever, which I am not the type of person that every other word come out my mouth is a cuss word. That's not who I am anyways. Right? Now, you piss me off, you're going to hear some things you ain't never thought to hear. But in my everyday speaking, no, that's not who I am. Like, I feel like I can articulate myself better than that. I feel like I had enough school loans that Biden forgave. Shout out to Biden. I sure appreciate you wiping them 95,000 and change off my credit report. You hear me? Yes. So having that much of school loans, ain't nowhere in the world I shouldn't be able to articulate my thoughts and my ideas and opinions without being able to say cuss words. Yeah. Yeah, I should be able to do that. So, like I say, I try to present and try to be the person that I would like other people to be for me. Do that mean I'm perfect? Do that mean, I ain't never told something that somebody told me? Nope, not perfect. Yes, I have, but I try very hard to not be a person that's going to be detrimental to anyone. Because I'm big on, I don't want to see that back. I don't want to see that back in my life. Right? I'm working too hard to plant positive seeds so that I can reap those positive benefits. I don't want to sow negative things because I do believe that negativity come back to you. And I do it not always from that person, but I believe it comes back to see you. So I am strategic about trying to put out positivity, trying to put out good things, trying to, I'm strategic about that because I want that to circle back to me. Absolutely. And like I say, listen, I have been in, you can't imagine how many situations I've been in, even with knowing how people are, like I say, learning my lesson at a young age, right? But when you're a certain person, a certain type of person, people tend to want to be in your life. People tend to want to be your friend, want to put themselves in position so they can link up with you and hang out with you, or, So all the time I couldn't catch it. Sometimes, people presented themselves very well and I didn't see that they were who they turned out to be. I didn't see it. So that led to some more situations happening because I didn't catch the snake. I ain't cut the grass low enough to catch that snake slide through, So yeah, you're going to learn more. You're going to have more lessons to learn because you didn't catch that one. And what I will say is this, ladies, y'all have to trust your feelings that you get. Maybe not the initial thing, but when you just sitting thinking about, hey, should I indulge with this person? Trust what you're feeling. Trust that. Like if you getting like a pretty good, you know what, that might be all right. Getting like go with it until they prove different to you. Because it's been my experience that people that I have given chances to, initially, it was a no-go. It was a no-go. And maybe throughout the years, I slowly indulged and allowed them only for, guess what? Them same people to turn around. And I say, you know what? I remember when I ain't even talk to them, when I didn't even speak to them. I just knew they wasn't my tribe. Right? And then I slowly but surely gave in to you. Because I was trying to, not be so against women, right? Not be so against, to be a little more open, be a little more softer and entertain without, because I was like a mean mugger, like, no, either you my friend and you right here with me, or everybody else, I ain't even into your own, hey, y'all do y'all thing, and me and my homegirl gonna do ours. But like I said, I softened up a bit and, tried to, be a little more open to some people. And then when those people, you know, showed up, I was like, man, you know what? I remember being in the ninth grade and not even want to be bothered with those people. Right? And I say, yeah, you knew something then. You always had a little feeling like they weren't your people. They weren't your people. And it turned out years later they were your people, So pay attention to those feelings that you have about people. Don't just dismiss them, And you don't have to tell nobody or whatever, but just pay attention to your own self, what you're feeling around certain people. They say energy don't lie. And sometimes just out the gate, you just don't, you cool on them. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. So yeah, a lot of times when we are very standoffish, it's because of experiences that we have had with people who turned out to disappoint us, and because of things that we have seen other people do. Sometimes, like I said, the way you was raised, you had people putting in your head like, hey, you ain't got no friends, this, that, or the third. Things you have just observed, about people that make you say, yeah, no, I'm good on that. Like, so, it's not just that we can't get along, we can't be friends, it's not that. Because you can get along, you can be friends, you are friends, you do get along with people, you do, there are people that they are your tribe and y'all vibe well and y'all have a good time, so it's not like I said before, like, oh, black women, they can't stand each other, this, that. No, that's the stuff that be on TV for ratings and foolishness, and a lot of shows, they paint us in such a negative light, like, it's entertaining, but does it have to be entertaining at the cost of how it portrays us as women? That's the down part about a lot of stuff now, is that, even when it comes to music and stuff like that, everything seems like it's at the detriment of us as black women. The people that, on top, and, they music getting played, and, but their image is bad, right? They may not be a bad person, but their image is bad. And so then it tends to group all of the black women in the same group. Now, let me say this right here. One thing that I've been learning about, since I've been doing, this podcasting, let me tell you something. The African ladies, they do not mind separating themselves from African American ladies. They will come in my comment and tell me, honey, oh, this is not, this ain't me. This ain't my people. We don't experience this, Okay, salute, ladies. Salute. If y'all don't have to have some of the experiences that we have, salute. Because in the same token, a lot of us don't have some of the experiences that y'all have. It does not make y'all any better than us. It doesn't make us any better than you. It just means that we are traveling different journeys in this one life. Yes. But, so yeah, everybody's experience is going to be different, but, hopefully it'll get to a point where it becomes a thing to portray black women in a positive manner, right? That it shows us being able to get along with each other, and, at some point, we will have a desire to show up better for each other. Because right now I feel like it's almost every man for themselves. And we don't necessarily have a desire to show up good for each other. You know, one girl waiting for waiting for the marriage to break up or waiting for the relationship to end. She right there. She right there waiting. Can't wait for it to be over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't wish people bad luck in their situations and stuff like that. Like, no. I want y'all to, thrive and do good and do better, and like, I don't wish bad luck and just be sitting around waiting for it to happen. Like, no, that's just not the person that I am. But these days and time, that's how people are, and that's why it's hard for women to want to be friends with other women, to be able to trust other women. Like, it's hard because we know what's going on. Like, and one thing I wanted to share was because this was like real strange to me, real strange and bold. But I was living in Lauderdale, and my homegirl had came to get me, and she was with her, like, one of her guy friends. So we just riding through the city, chilling, hanging good or whatever, just not doing too much of nothing. So we just talking and everything or whatever. I don't know the dude that she with or whatever, So the next day, I go to my car. It's a note on my car. And it's a phone number or whatever. So now, I have a little friend guy that I deal with, right? Over where I stay at. So I'm thinking that maybe he put the note on the car or something, but he could just knock on the door. So he wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? So it was just weird. So I called the number, right? Like, who is this? Right? Because I don't even really know that many people for a note to be on my car saying, So I called the number. Guess who it is? It is the dude who my homegirl came to pick me up with. Who are you? Yeah, last night. What? Buddy, this ain't that type of party. No. You was just with my homegirl, and you think, yeah, I ain't think it was, yeah, it's something, bro. Like, no, ain't nothing negative. I called my homegirl, I'm like, hey, buddy, came and done put a note on the car. I ain't know who it was. Put a note with his phone number. She was like, hey, well, you can talk to him if you want to, because I don't like, hey, no, I don't. I ain't know. Just the fact that he would do something like that. Well, so sometimes you got to show yourself in a certain way. Because it's not to say that life and people not going to try you. But sometimes you got to have enough, integrity and enough something about yourself that you say, no, I'm not doing that. And those are things that you learn as you get, to me, you should learn that as you get older. The younger you are when you learn those type of values, the better off life will be for you. Because if you, and this for the young ladies, if you move around slimy and grimy, once people start to know that about you, nobody's going to want to deal with you. And it's all right to be standoffish and this and that, but it's going to come a time when you're going to need friends. You're going to need people to want to interact with you. You're going to need people to come and, when you're mourning or when you're moving, but you're going to need people to show up for you. And if you've been the type of a person all your life that a person can't stand or they can't trust you, the worst friend you could have, the worst type of person to be around, I don't care if it's your auntie or your niece, the worst person you could have around you is somebody that you cannot trust with your significant other. That's the worst type of person. You hear me? And let me tell y'all young girls something. Anybody that's young, listen, I came up at a time when if y'all have uncles, y'all aunties and stuff married to men, they're your uncles, and y'all have, even if you have, granddaddies, uncles, older. Listen, when you come around them, put on some clothes. Don't you come around people, significant others, showing everything. I don't care how fine you think you are. You just might be fine. But out of respect, when you know you going to your grandma and them house or whoever, and everybody finna be there, put on some clothes. Yeah, they don't have no business trying to talk to you or nothing, but it's just the fact that you should show up in a respectful manner. You should show up and have on clothes. You finna be around your boy cousins, your uncle, your aunt, people who are married. Put on some clothes. Because see, you the one that you showing up with everything showing, see through this, that in your tail, booty cheeks hanging out, all of that. You the one that they don't want to be bothered with, that they feel like, she can't come over here. So what happens if you happen to need somewhere to stay or something? They ain't gonna want to bring you into their home. Look how you dress. Look how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Show up as the woman that another woman can respect. That is the whole problem in the relationship stuff with one woman to another. We're not showing up in a way that other women can look at us and have respect for us and want to partner up with us, want to be involved with what we have going on, want to link up with us. If we don't show up in that way, we can't blame nobody, man or woman, for not wanting to be bothered with us. If we're not showing up in a way that says, hey, we're respectful, we have integrity, we're not a liar. We're not going to sneak behind your back and do something, right? Even if it is something that you want to do, you should be able to verbalize that and say, listen, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. You should be able to express that to someone, especially if it's somebody that you care about or that's your friend or your relative. You should be able to say, hey, listen, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I have done. So it don't seem like you're doing no slide stuff, nothing underhanded, nothing behind nobody back. You ain't hiding, trying to be with somebody, going off to another city, doing, having dates so that this person won't find out or the word won't. We ain't doing none of that. This is what this is. This is what I'm doing. And I'm doing this because I thought it was okay to do this based on X, Y, and Z. Right? You show up as a kind of woman that other women can respect. And if we all did that collectively, then I believe we will be able to get along better with one another because we will be able to trust them. We'll be able to, look at them with admiration and say, hey, you know what? I don't mind having, business dealings or going to brunch or developing a friendship with her because she seems like a woman of integrity, someone that I can respect and trust. And I think at the end of the day, that's what one woman is looking for in other women, someone she can trust, someone she can have respect in, and someone that shows integrity. And that's that. So I'll see y'all next time.